Welcome to All Horse Racing All the Time. I'm your host, Al. Today, I'm going to come to you in this video with some early Travers Stakes predictions. And I'm going to talk about some handicapping tips that can help you improve your horse playing games. I'll tell you, beautiful, beautiful Wednesday afternoon here. The weather is just gorgeous. Early afternoon. Is it 70? I don't know. It's breezy. It was in the upper 50s this morning. Just fantastic as we start to move away from summer. 1 month removed from fall, 2 months away from the beginning of summer. We're going to start getting more days like this. These are the days where I'm more in my element. I'm not one for the intense heat. It's when we had stifling heat over in the New York area, we had, since they've been keeping track, a record-breaking heat, the hottest month of July ever. Broke records for July. So what about the Travers? Now, the Travers, still a few days away. Here it's Wednesday. Saturday scheduled for the Travers, August 24th. For those of you thinking of going, there are no seats. No seats have been sold out for a while. I tried to get them. They were sold out. They still have general admission, will be available, and available the day of the race. Now here's the thing. You can order them online. $30 is general admission at the track. You can get them in advance online for $25. Get this. They have fees or whatever involved if you order it online. So it actually, instead of 25 with the fees, it comes up to about 29 and change. So you're saving about 50 cents if you order it online. Why go through the hassles, right? Just get it at the track. I don't think they're going to get sold out. I haven't heard of anyone ever being turned away from the Travers, especially now at 30 bucks. But that's the deal if you're thinking about going. Now this race, 1.25 miles, should be a fascinating race. We have 8 entries. 4 of them really don't look like they have much of a chance to win. I can't see it happening. Dornoch, the favorite now. Dornoch is looking to become the second colt to win the 3 straight races of the Belmont Stakes, the Haskell, and now the Travers. It's only one has done it before. Opens as a 5-2 favorite. Do I think this one should be favored? No, absolutely not. I think he's good. I mean, Dornoch has shown the ability to come back when he's been overtaken in some races and bounce back and win the race. Has some nice numbers. Favoritism? I don't see it. I don't see it. At least not by the sheet numbers, be it Thorograph or Ragozin. Buyer figures, ballpark Frisnot figures, never as fast as Fierceness, but out of respect, Dornoch will open as the favorite at 5-2. What do I think about that? We'll get to that in a second. Now the second favorite is a tie, which I also don't agree with. They have the 1 entry, the filly from McPeak, Torpedo Anna, opening at 3-1 and breaking from the outside, number 8, the Enigma Fierceness. Mike Rapoli, trained by Pletcher, Rapoli the owner, ridden by Johnny V, opened as the Kentucky Derby favorite, the championship 2-year-old from 2023, winner of the Breeders' Cup Classic last year for the 2-year-olds. Juvenile, Breeders' Cup Juvenile. What do you think about those two? Well, they're both 3-1. And then, of course, we have the other entry, the infuriating Sierra Leone. Always seems to run well enough to lose, has never missed the board. Hasn't won in a while, finished second by a nose in the Derby, Kentucky Derby. Okay. Finished second in the Kentucky Derby. Okay. By a nose. Lost in the Belmont Stakes. Had all sorts of problems. Some caused by him, some caused by others, cutting him off at the gate. 2 of them sandwiched him at the start. Left himself, as usual, a lot of ground to make up. Closed to within a length of Dornoch, but came too late. Was coming fast. If the race was a little longer, he would have won the race. But if, that was a big if. And then ran in the Jim Dandy, finished second to none other than Fierceness. Now, Fierceness, go back to Fierceness a second. Fastest one in here by far. When he runs his race, none of these have run as fast as him. So something to keep in mind. The thing with Fierceness though, good race, bad race, good race, bad race, good race, bad race. But Sierra Leone, that's another one. 1.25 miles. Maybe this race benefits him if some of the speed breaks down. You know he's going to be around. He's dependable to make that run. He's dependable to hit the board because he's just that good. The breeding out of Gun Runner. Got the breeding up the gazoo. Looks like $1 million. They say this horse is a masterpiece to look at in the paddock or when he's out on the track. Sierra Leone. Chad Brown trained. Now, what I'm going to mention here is another. Chad Brown has another entry in this race. I think that one has a shot to maybe hit the board. Maybe hit the board. But what about the race itself? Who do I see as winning this race? I believe the winner comes out of 3. 3 of them. There's 3. Either Fierceness brings his A game, it's over. Sierra Leone. And now I'm torn between Dornoch and Torpedo Anna. The filly has not run as fast as the 3 guys here in this equation. And is a second choice, co-second choice with Fierceness at 3-1. To her credit, she is getting spotted 5 pounds, which works out at that distance to be about 1.5 lengths, 2 lengths worth of real estate. So it should be kind of interesting. I don't think she's going to get it done. If I was going to do something with I see the top 2 choices here are Fierceness and Sierra Leone. Out of those 2, 1, 2. I know Dornoch has the highest rating now after the last 2 races. I just don't see it. I don't see it. I think he beat a relatively weak field in the last 2 races. None of the heavyweights were there for the Haskell. The Sierra Leone, the Fierceness. The filly, of course, wasn't there. I don't know. I see it. Multi-race plays, I would use just 2. I'd use Sierra Leone and Fierceness. What about exactas? Would you box an exacta? Do you think this is going to be a really cheap play or even worth it? If you're going to box 3, who do you box? Believe it or not, given the filly's tenaciousness, I would Fierceness, Sierra Leone, and Torpedo Anna. If I was going to use something in the 3rd position, would I use those? And then maybe throw in the 3rd position, the 3rd position if you're throwing a try, throw the other Chad Brown entry in there, the longer one. Really has no shot. Maybe he could slip in the, he finished 3rd in the Belmont Stakes. Maybe he could slip into that 3rd spot for the try, but I don't think this is going to be a money maker per se. Trifecta. If I had to pick just one horse to win this race, it would be Fierceness. He's too fast. He's faster than the others, undefeated on the track. I know we got the people, the ones that don't like him. They say Fierceness can't get the 1.25 miles. He has a good race and bad race pattern. He's due for a bad race. What's going on in front of us here? We got a runner coming. So what do I say about that? Yeah, true. Good race, bad race. He's due for a bad race. Here's what I say about that. In all 3 races that Fierceness didn't win, he won the other 4. Now he's due for one of the bad ones on Saturday. So people are swearing by that pattern. Keep in mind that Fierceness had a bad start, bad trouble at the gate in all 3 of those. All 3 of those races. Did not have a clean start in any of them. It's not a case of this one getting off to a good start and just not having it that day. Hopped at the gate, pinball, broke, slow, stumbled, whatever. But look at it. Look at the trip notes. Watch those races. You'll see that he got out of the gate in trouble. So in this race, he has the luxury of breaking from the outside, post number 8. So there's a minimal chance of him getting in trouble, and he can take dead aim at the other entries in this race. So that works to the advantage of Fierceness. Let's see something here. Okay. So that's food for thought. Who do I think wins the race? Fierceness. If I would box 2 horses, Fierceness and Sierra Leone box. I expect Sierra Leone to get there. Possibly win the race, though I'm landing on 1, Fierceness. Would I play Fierceness alone to win in the race? No. Using multis. Am I going to be playing an exactor or a try? No. I'm going to be playing multi-race bet. If I do change my mind. Now remember, this is my early Travers prediction selections. I probably would set up a try. Maybe a couple of them. Have Fierceness and Sierra Leone keyed first, second. Put them on top. And then work underneath. Maybe doing another Travers show with a guest. Stay tuned for that. So that's what I'm looking at the Travers. Either Fierceness or Sierra Leone. I think Dornoch is a pretender. I see that one is vulnerable. And the filly is anyone's guess. Has not run as fast as the others, including Dornoch. But the filly is winning by open lengths, and I think the horse's personality, the horse's running style will take care of the rest. He's only won so many races, only lost once. So the tenacity of Torpedo Anna. I think she has a better chance of winning or coming in second than Dornoch. Dornoch, maybe third. Maybe third. I don't see as part of this exacta. So you got it there. Some handicapping tips, what to do if you're playing these races. Not just the Travers, but any race. I'm going to put a link down below in the description area for free Brisn FPPs. One tip I can give you, if you haven't done this already, sometimes people get a little lazy or they think they know enough. If you're using data, whatever data you're using, make sure you understand what everything stands for on that piece of data. Every letter, every number, every column. Because if you don't, you think, okay, I know enough. I know the speed figures. I could look at the PPs and I could see the running line. I know what this can do. I know who the jockey is, etc. Look at everything. Take everything into account. Post positions for the race. How does the horse do with the post position it is at today? You get the idea. Trip notes. Workouts. Understand the whole 9 yards. Be familiar with it. Because every piece of information you leave out, that's putting you a little bit behind the 8 ball. So, here we got some little bit of views here. What's going on? This road is closed off. Can't drive on it. So it's perfect for getting out and enjoying a nice day. Again, beautiful day. It happens to be a Wednesday today. If you're watching it on Wednesday, happy hump day. Weekend's almost here. So yeah, get familiar with the PPs. Another thing, handicap the races in advance. You want to be familiar, intimate with the races, familiar with everything that you're going to be taking on that day. You don't want to go in there blind, rushed. More work you do in advance, no matter how much time you put into it, looking at least a once over, getting your contenders, selecting your contenders, your top win contender, or your top contenders, first, second, third, getting them out of the way, the ones you don't think figure, taking some notes. Do it early. This way you'll have time when you're playing the races to look at the board, check your prices, and gives you more time to structure your tickets. How much, structure your tickets and lay out in advance what you're going to be doing. Take note of how long, how much time it's going to take you to enter these tickets. So you want to enter these tickets closer to post time. You'll have more time for that. More time for that. Whereas if you didn't handicap the races in advance or look them over and then make your adjustments after the scratches come out, then you have time to put, work on the other thing, your analysis, your financial analysis, your payouts, potential payouts, how much your tickets are going to cost. Maybe the horse is showing bad body language. Maybe the payouts aren't there, so maybe you want to try something else. So these are all things to keep in mind when you're working on the races. So get that handicapping done in advance and make your adjustments after scratches. Then you want to keep in mind, another tip, figure out how much you're going to be playing with that day. Now you've handicapped in advance, you know the races you definitely want to have money left for that you're able to play. Not that you blow everything on some races early, but by the time your best races come up, you don't have any money left. You don't want to be in that place. So keep that in mind. Something else to keep in mind, too, is, know how much money you're going to be playing with. Not that you're going to, you think you're playing with all the money you have in your account plus whatever's in your pocket and whatever's in your bank account. No. Set aside a certain amount you're going to play with. Maybe you even want to put a finish line in mind, a target, how much you want to make that day. And if you hit that amount, consider stopping, cashing in. Sometimes people think, oh yeah, it's like Monopoly money. No, cash it out, put it in your bank account. Whoa, you do that? You notice it's real money, right? So set aside how much you're going to be playing with that day. This way you know in advance what you have to work with, and you know what races to point at and how to structure it out, whether you're going to be playing pick threes, etc. Daily doubles. Daily doubles are a great play. Easier to pick a daily double than say an exacta. The second position of the exacta is the most squirrely position in racing, where the unpredictable takes place. Could it be because every single exotic within the race depends on it, the exacta? You lose that second position, you get taken out, chopped off at the knees in the exacta. trifecta, superfecta. Whereas if you're playing a daily double, you could, go maybe a 3x2 play. And if you feel really strongly, especially when you can narrow one leg down to 2, that's when you can start having some fun. Or 1, even better. It's easier to pick a winner than to pick the second place finisher. Trust me on this, you won't be sorry. And the 50-cent pick 3s, look for those tracks where you can play the 50-cent pick 3s. And another thing, as far as money goes, just as important as the handicapping, your handicapping ability, your money management, you set aside how much you're going to play with, deciding what races you're going to do, the handicapping in advance, the money management, the emotional aspect is extremely important for handicapping. You want to be emotionally grounded. Can't say it enough, can't stress it enough. I've talked about this. Playing the races with ice water in your veins. Calm, emotionally calm. If somebody plays the races and they're an emotional train wreck, whether they're screaming, going out of their mind after a victory, or after a loss, or panicking after a loss, and allowing that to rule your emotions and how you address the following races. That is a recipe for disaster. And if you play the game with that style of playing the game, play the game with your emotions, I got news for you. Maybe this game is not for you. That does not equate to long-term racing success. Just like poker players. You don't see these guys freaking out at the table, right? Calm. Cool as ice. Ice water in the veins. If it helps, think about the results of the race, the potential results of the race before the race goes off. You did all your legwork, your handicapping, you bet financially sound on the race. Now it's almost time for the race to go. You get your bets in. Picture in advance, how am I going to handle this race once it's over? What if I win this race and I win a lot of money? What am I going to do after the race? Am I going to sit a race out and think about it and enjoy the victory? Because, maybe calm down a little bit? Or am I going to really go balls to the wall and throw the money around like it's Monopoly money the next race? Handicap half-ass, throw every horse in there that moves, look for another big score. And you lose that race. Think about how you're going to handle it. You're going to hopefully handle it responsibly. Because it's real money. So you know how you're going to handle it. Okay, so you win the race. You already have a game plan how you're going to do after that race. What if you lose that race? Hopefully you bet responsibly. You're not chasing money. You're not one of these guys that gets paid every 2 weeks and you put your paycheck on it, the entire thing. Go back another step. Watch the portion of this video right before this one. Again, you bet responsibly and you lost. Okay, you bet responsibly. You did everything right. Now if you lose, how are you going to handle that? Are you going to run to the ATM machine? Are you going to make a deposit to your account? Hopefully not. Hopefully not. Because you're prepared for this, right? If you lost it, how are you going to deal with it? Maybe you're going to sit out a race. Maybe you're going to call it a day. Because you don't like the way it's going. There's always, you know the saying in horse racing, right? There's always another race. What's this path over here? This is a bridle path. Let's go down here. I'm walking down an incline. Okay. They have horseback riding around here. Okay, we're making our way to the path. Interesting. Okay, yeah, so you figured out how you're going to handle this, how you're going to address this. If you happen to lose that race, it's not the end of the world, right? You're prepared for it. But hear me now on this. Okay, so you're good. Maybe you take the race off. You're like, fine, we'll go on to the next race. Not going to win every single race. That's part of horse racing. Don't chase your losses. It's not the right mind frame to play the game. What if you passed on the race? Now, if you passed on the race, maybe you're taking a break, maybe getting something to eat. Maybe you're thinking about the next race. You say, I didn't really like this race, I passed on it. So now you're prepared to go on to the next race. Now, as far as playing the game, with ice water in the veins, emotionally stable, say you're at the rail of the at the racetrack, and there are 3 different outcomes. You won the race, you lost the race, or you passed on the race. Whether you lost your paycheck, whether you won $500, or whether you passed on the race, you want somebody to be able to come up to you at the rail. You're watching the race at the rail. Take a cell phone, stick it up to your face, and snap a picture. And you should have the same exact expression on your face, whether you won big, lost big, or didn't play at all. Have that same rewarding smile on your face. Ice water in the veins. That's how you want to play the game. Like a master. You'll come out ahead. Sometimes it takes a little work. Not everyone starts off that way. Horse racing's an exciting game, let's face it. So, it comes with practice. Another tip. Get some good horse racing books, some tremendous books on horse racing, some of the Andy Beyer books. You can get these books for pennies on a dollar, used editions from Amazon. A lot of good books. Barry Meadows, Money Secrets at the Racetrack. Stephen Christ has some excellent books. Exotic Wagering. How to play those pick 4s, pick 3s, pick 6s, everything. A lot of wealth of information out there as far as the horse racing goes. So keep that in mind. Just some tips to get started, start winning some money, and make the game much more enjoyable. The game's a lot more fun when you're winning money than and knowing what you're doing than when you're scrambling, panicked, withdrawing money from your account, withdrawing money from your bank account, or running to an ATM machine, or chasing losses, or getting depressed. You want to play the game the right way. Not to scare anybody, but they say gambling addiction or horse race, people losing their fortunes or money in gambling, and that includes horse racing. That has the highest suicide rate of any of these addictions out there, more so than drugs or alcohol. They say there's such a thing as sexual addiction, that people get really depressed. Anyway, you got gambling, you can get in trouble that way. And I've seen some people do it. It's not pretty what they go through. So keep that in mind. I want to thank everybody for watching. Remember the Travers. If you have any friends, horse racing friends who like horse racing, you think they might enjoy this, let them know about it. Feedback always appreciated. Hit the like button. And make sure you subscribe. Hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it, turn it black, to get notifications of all new and upcoming videos. So have a great day, everybody, and thanks for watching again. Let's make some money in the Travers. And if you're playing today, best of luck. You can win big. Talk with you soon.